Hi everyone, this is Spiritual Goddess. Let me just turn down my music. Hi everyone, this is Spiritual Goddess and I am here with a brand new tarot reading. For this tarot reading, we're going to be talking about the virus. I call her the rona virus because I don't want to say the name, I don't want to get flagged or my video taken down, but I just wanted to relay these messages to you all in regards to COVID-19. So this is part one. Part one is going to talk about the government, how we are as a society at the moment, and some other yearning questions that a lot of us have in regards to the virus. Part two is going to be talking about the economic impact that the virus will have for all of us. So sit back, relax, and thank you so much for watching and supporting. Share the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And let's jump into the energy part of the reading. So, I have 3 energy checks for this reading. But we're going to start off with these 2. So deck 1 talks about the government, the energy surrounding the government at this time. And deck 2 talks about us as a society, as a people, and how we are feeling and the energy surrounding us at the moment. So I'm just move these over. And we're just going to talk about the government. This is about the government and the energy around the government at this time. So the first card we have is Magician in the Mirror. The second card we have is 5th Chakra Archangel Gabriel in the reverse position. We have Broken Heart in the reverse position. And we have Patience in the reverse position. So based off of these cards, I want to jump into the 5th chakra first, because this is all about communication. The 5th chakra talks about communicating, expressing ourselves, and because this is in a reverse position, there's a blockage. There's a blockage in communication, and there's a lot of things that are getting held back from certain people. There's some people who are afraid to speak up. There's a lot of miscommunications and mishandling within the government at this time. As we've seen, I believe Trump was talking about something. I forgot what he was talking about, but somebody had to interject and be like, no, that's not the case. Oh, it was about how long the coronavirus was going to happen. He said it was going to bleed into the summertime, and then somebody had to jump in and was like, no, like that's not what we're saying. So there's just a lot of miscommunication within our government right now of what to do, how to handle the situation. Now they're talking about possibly giving people the $1,000, but it's probably going to be like how it was in 2008, where you had to like qualify for it. It's just, they're all over the place. They're running around with their heads cut off, and it's just, nothing is getting said right. There's a lot of misinformation being spread at the moment. But we have the Magician in the Mirror. Magician in the Mirror, as far as the government is concerned, that it talks about them having the power to turn this around. They have the power, they have the authority to turn this around, and they want to. They want to because we have the Broken Heart in the reverse position, which talks about ending. They're ready to move forward. They're ready to end this. They're ready to make things normal again. And they have the power. They have the magic. Fire and ice. They have the balance to make this stop. Okay? They have the power. They have the tools. But that doesn't mean that they should rush into making decisions, which I feel as though a lot of people are doing. A lot of these corporations and the government is doing. They're rushing to make these decisions, and they're not making sound decisions. Okay? There's certain plans that are trying to get put into place that need to be redirected. They need to make sure that it is sound. Okay? But they're trying to stop this so bad. They want this to end so bad that they're just throwing any any information out there just to be like, hey, look at us, we're on top of things. Hey, look at us, we're trying to make things happen. And it's like, look, be organized, be diligent, because people's livelihood is at risk. People's businesses are at risk. People's careers are at risk. People's lives are at risk right now. They have to take their time. I know that they're upset. I know they want to change things. They have the power to do it, but they got to relax. They got to relax and come up with a sound plan. Because right now there's so much miscommunication going on within the government at the moment. Now let's jump into us as a society. How are we feeling? What's our energy surrounding all of us during this time? The first card we have is envy. The second card we have is action in the reverse position. The third card we have is rest and rejuvenate in the third position. And then we have the world in the reverse position. So people are upset. This envy card is speaking to dissatisfaction. We are upset of how everything is unraveling. We are upset of how the government isn't taking action. How we as people aren't taking action. How we're not being responsible. We are acknowledging at this point in time that we need to be more responsible with our health. We need to be responsible about the things that we say, the misinformation that's being spread. We need to be more responsible of how we treat each other in this moment. And again, this ties back into the government not having that solid plan, that solid call to action towards all of this. We feel as though they're not fighting hard enough for us. And because of that, people just feel so overwhelmed and stressed. They don't know what's going to happen next. They don't know when their next meal may come. They don't know if they can afford to even buy things, because all this panic shopping and people buying everything off the shelves, people just don't know. It's such an overwhelming and stressful feeling. It just feels like a whole burden is on a lot of people's shoulders. You know, with the child care, everybody's home from school, but then it's like, wow, how about me working? I can't work and then my child's at home, so like job loss. It's so much unnecessary stress. People's mental health is going down because of this. People are falling into depression because they're staying quarantined in the house. People are very anxious, anxiety. I know me personally, I almost had an anxiety attack, chest pain because of everything, not knowing what's next. It's stressful. It's not an okay feeling. Then we have the world in reverse. This is how we feel. We just feel like our world is upside down and in shambles. We don't know what's next. And we're just like, wow, this is the life that we're living right now. And it's already bad enough that a lot of unfortunate situations has happened already in 2020, only 3 months in. Now we're about to go into April and it's like, well, what's next? Like, it can't get any worse than this. And this is just how we as a collective are feeling at the moment. So let's jump into the tarot side of the reading. The first pile, this pile is going to talk about, should we be worried? You know, should we be panicking about the coronavirus? This is really a big deal. Because there's really, honestly, some people who think it's not a big deal. There's some people who think that, you know, they don't really care about the virus, but they care about what's going to happen to our economy. There's people that care about both, and then there's people that's just like, well, I ain't got shit to lose, excuse my language. But there are people who think like that. Like, everybody has their own feeling towards this whole virus thing. Some people don't think it's that deep. Some people think that is an issue. It's just all over the place. So the first card we have is the Tower, which I think is so symbolic in everything that is happening right now. So symbolic. We have the Strength card. Again, very symbolic in these trying times. And yes, I'm having soft music. I'm trying to turn it down a little bit. Next, we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. Again, talking about that mental health. People's mental health is unfortunately declining because of everything that's going on. We have the Eight of Pentacles. But when I pulled it, it came out in this position. So we're going to keep it like that. And I'm going to explain, why it's sideways. It's kind of common sense, but also explain. Then we have Queen of Wands in the reverse position. Then we have the Magician in the reverse position. So let's talk about this Tower card. So we all know that the overall meaning of the Tower card is the inevitable end, the Tower moment. Everything is crashing down, going down a downward spiral, just chaos and things being out of control. And this is symbolic to me because this is something that we cannot control. We finally have to loosen our grip and allow things to happen. Allow the change to happen. Allow it all to happen. And I know that's something that people just don't want to hear, but it's the truth. Sometimes destruction and chaos has to happen for people to open their eye. This is an eye-opener. I'm going to bring it up closer. This is an eye-opener for certain people. And if you look closely in the eye, I'm trying to put it up so you can see. If you look closely in the eye, what is that? The infinity symbol. So for me, this is supposed to happen. And if we look in that book that was written by that psychic in the 80s, predicted this was supposed to happen. And a lot of people are seeing a lot of truth. A lot of people are like, ooh, waking up. And also, the Tower, if we want to talk about in the context of the virus, talks about sudden illness and us, like I said, needing to make adjustments to how we take care of ourselves, how we see our lives, and taking things more seriously, because you can have something one day and it be gone tomorrow. We never know. Like, there's so many lessons behind that meaning that has happened this year. For example, with Kobe Bryant's death, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. That's another example of you just never know when it may be your last time. You never know if something may get taken away. We need to stop taking things for granted. Stop taking our livelihood for granted. Stop taking how we see the world and how we see each other for granted. Next, we have the Strength card. So this is talking about us. If we play this smart, if we stop getting our heads out of our asses, if we actually take this seriously, we can improve the fatality and the negative outcomes of the situation. Us as a society and the government needs to take responsibility. Because if we don't take responsibility and we just continue to just be like, oh, it's nothing, if we continue to be money hungry, especially these big corporations, these quote unquote essential, none of this is worth people's health. If somebody says stay inside, if your government officials say stay inside, then you stay inside. If we stick in this together and come up with a resolution, forget your conspiracy, forget how you feel. This is not a time about you. This is, again, another lesson of this whole virus. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about us as a collective, because we as a collective are affected. We need to stick together. Because if we stick together and play it smart, this can be over with sooner than later. It's too much loss going on for people to still be selfish about everything that's happening. It's too much loss for people to still act selfish. Period. Next, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse position. Again, this is impacting people's mental health, anxiety, depression, not knowing what's next, not knowing if you can have it or not. People are losing their jobs. People are temporarily laid off. People can't buy the necessary needs because you guys are out here panic shopping. Again, panic shopping equals being selfish. There's people out here who can't afford to buy 20 diapers, 20 boxes of diapers, 20 things of toilet paper. Like, stop it. That's not being responsible. This is impacting people's livelihoods, mental stability. I pray for anybody who may have been going through some mental health issues throughout this time, feeling depressed, feeling stuck, feeling claustrophobic because you can't go outside, because you can't go to work, because you don't know what's next. I pray for you. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles, but it's sideways. So whenever a card to me comes up in sideways, how I interpret it is that it can go one way or another. It can either turn this way or it can turn this way. So for me, we need to find balance with our current situation, with our health, and that we each have to make the proper adjustment fitting to our own personal situation. So for example, if you are sick or you have the symptoms of the virus, be responsible and go to the hospital and get tested. If you're out of work but your partner's not out of work, make up a plan to be like, hey, okay, I'll watch the kids, you go to work, but I'll make sure that things are clean. I'll make sure that stuff is organized so that when you come back from work, it's not like overwhelming for you, that you can come to a place and just relax. Find a strategy to fit your plan, to fit your narrative at the moment. Find a strategy to fit your narrative at the moment. Take this time in quarantine. For example, say if you wanted to start a business but now things are on hold, come up with a plan to help secure you just in case if things like this happen again in the future. How are you going to plan for things like this? Because this is a lot of things that people don't think about. Again, find balance in your situation. If you know your mental health may be thrown off because you're sitting in the house all damn day, find ways to help you cope with your situation. Because we have too much time now, all of us on our hands. Find your balance. Find your peace. Next, we have Queen of Wands in the reverse position. So Queen of Wands in the reverse position. This is mainly talking about people who are pregnant. Pregnant women, be very careful at this time. Stay inside as much as possible because you're at very high risk. I believe recently on the news, there was a pregnant lady that gave birth, and her and her newborn tested positive for the virus. Stay inside, please. If you are pregnant, anybody, but especially women who are pregnant, stay inside. People with small children, stay inside. There ain't nothing out here to risk your child's life. Next, we have the Magician in reverse position. We need to have more faith. So that means you got to unplug from social media, because I feel as though social media always talking about death. This person died, that person died, this person died, that person died. And this is messing up with people's faith. This is messing up with people being like believing that they can overcome it. Because when you have self-limiting things around you, it's going to make you feel like, okay, the end is near. There's no hope. We need to keep our faith. We need to continue to pray. We need to continue to speak positive affirmations of all of this. Get your crystals, get your protective crystals, sage. Do things that's going to continuously make you feel like you have faith that you and we as a whole will overcome this. Because we're losing our faith. Because the only thing we see all day is people dying of the coronavirus. So should we be worried? I think we should be concerned. We shouldn't be panicking, because panicking doesn't solve anything. Again, this is something that is out of our control. I had a conversation with somebody about this last night, and he made me really think differently. He said, Tiff, this is out of our control. This is out of our control, but we got to keep our faith. We can't just quit on ourselves. Shit happens. This is something that is just, we can't fight the air. We can't do nothing. You can't shoot guns and throw bombs in the air and it's going to clear it. No, this is out of our control. We got to continuously pray. So be concerned, be responsible, but keep your faith. Keep your faith. I believe that this is a wake-up call for all of us to be responsible. A wake-up call for us to really care about each other, care about our planet. You know? Because you see in Italy, because Italy recently shut down a whole entire country. And now the lakes are clear, the ducks is swimming. It's like, in the same breath, it's like, yes, this virus is trash, okay? But because people are not driving their cars everywhere, flying everywhere, the earth is healing itself. So hopefully this is a wake-up call for us to take care of our planet. Maybe it's a good thing we sit in our house for a few months and allow the earth to heal itself. And us as people, as individuals, to heal ourselves. Take this time as your spiritual awakening to heal yourself. I'm not trying to preach, I'm just trying to be real. Let's move on to the next deck. Now, this is a question that popped up recently. So I've seen a lot of things on YouTube, and honestly some of my family members have experienced this, where people are being rude towards each other in the grocery stores, pushing each other, threatening to fight each other. And there's people who are afraid that if we continue to be quarantined in our homes and people start running out of food, because again, people are losing jobs, people don't have like savings backed up, emergency funds, rainy day funds, will people begin to rob each other? Will we begin to break into each other's homes? So people are afraid, you know, that we will begin to be violent towards each other for food, for certain necessities. And will we start rioting? So the cards that pulled we have is the Emperor, which talks about structure, protection, authority. So for me right there, it's like, if somebody were to try, they're not going to get far. And I heard something about like the National Guards and stuff are going to be outside making sure that people ain't doing nothing dumb and in their damn houses. So I feel as though if we were to have a moment of just complete shutdown, people aren't going to get that far. Because I feel as though there's going to be people watching. Next, we have the death card in the reverse position. Again, this doesn't mean death per se, but in the context of what I'm talking about, I don't think, again, and with this Emperor card and with this being next to each other, I don't believe that it will get to that point. But again, you know, you always have your little shitheads that are rude. But I don't think it's going to get to the point where it's going to be like a purge moment. Next, we have the Hermit card. Again, people are just going to be inside. And because people are going to be inside their houses, they're not really going to care about the outside. They're going to care about themselves. Again, I believe a lot of people are awakening right now. I think a lot of people are going through a spiritual process at the moment. And if not, people are going to start going into one where they're more caring about themselves eternally. Because right now, we're with our own thoughts and our own feelings. So and this is the Hermit talks about being in your own world. So I don't think people are going to be really concerned about other people and robbing. And again, we have the Five of Cups in reverse position, which talks about forgiveness and healing. Again, a lot of us are taking this opportunity to heal. So I don't think that we're going to be violent towards each other. Again, there's going to be some cases where people are going to try things, but because there's really strict on this, and I believe that the government is trying to take this as seriously as possible with the whole curfew thing, with the whole, look, you're not coming outside. We're going to make sure that people are going to ask you what you're doing. Because I know if you work, you got to have some sort of paperwork in your job stating that you got to go to work. Like, they're not playing. So it's like you're not going to get far if you do try to hurt somebody. But we shouldn't even be focused on that. We should be focusing on ourselves and our own personal healing. So no, I wouldn't worry about that too much. I really wouldn't worry about that at all. Now the last deck talks about will we be quarantined like Italy. Italy shut everything down. They said, nope, we're not dealing with it. We're not dealing with it. So my question is, will we be quarantined like Italy as a whole? Now, where I'm from, where I live in the States. Ooh, no. Where I live in the States, I'm sorry, y'all. Where I live in the States, they made a government decision to give us a curfew, and they also was like, hey, we're shutting this shit down. I know California shut everything down. I think Pennsylvania shut a lot of things down. There's a couple states that shut everything down. Seattle was like the first. Not Seattle. That's not a state. That's a city. Washington, I know, was the first state because they got it like crazy in Washington State. So, let's see. We have 3 cups and reverse position. We have the Ace of Cups. 10 of Wands. The Temperance card. And the Strength card. So yes, they're thinking about it. And you know what? It's not such a bad, well, it depends. Let's jump into it. So there's 3 of Cups. If it was in the upright position, we'll talk about celebration, being together, woo-doo-doo. Because it's in reverse position, it talks about things being canceled, things being changed, postponed because of this virus. So it's a strong possibility that a lot of shit is going to get shut down soon. Okay, and this is because they view it as this is the safety, the way that we can improve our health right now. That's how they view it. That's how the government is viewing this. Like, if we shut shit down, this can help us improve our situation. If we quarantine ourselves and not interact with each other as much, it's going to slow down the spread of this virus. Because I know in New Jersey, our number of cases skyrocketed really, really quick. We now in like the thousands and shit like that. So yeah, but some people with this 10 of Wands, they're going to be stressed the F out. Anxiety because of this quarantine. Not everybody can handle being in the house all day, every day. This is going to really mess with people's mental health. But with the Temperance next to this 10 of Wands, this talks about, again, moderation and finding balance. Find your inner zen. Find your inner peace. So you won't have to go crazy. And this quarantine is only going to make us stronger. Again, the Strength card comes up again. Talking about strength. If we take responsibility right now and do what we need to do to protect each other, we could come out of this quicker. We can come out of this sooner than later. Okay? So it's a strong possibility that more and more states are going to be like, hey, keep your butt in the house. They're probably going to be way more stricter with the rules surrounding that. So be prepared. If you haven't been restricted, be ready to start hearing your government officials probably being like, look, keep your butt in the house. So finally, we're going to end this reading with the energy, the future energy of the coronavirus. So let's see how this all going to play out and end, if it does end. We have the Thinking Woman in the reverse position. We have Cornucopia. We have Appreciation in reverse position. Over. Woman holding a coin. And then Happy Family. So, there's going to be some lingering energies, some lingering self-limiting thoughts that will occur once everything settles. Okay? Because that's with the Appreciation reverse. Because a lot of people are going to lose their selves. These two. We have the Thinking Woman in the reverse and Appreciation in reverse. Because people are going to be quarantined, because people are going to experience loss in some sort of way, a lot of people are going to lose their sense of self, their sense of purpose. A lot of people are going to be feeling like, I don't know what to do. What's next? But this is telling you to trust your intuition. Tap into your intuition so you can get the answers you need, so you can take action. Stop the self-limiting thoughts and refocus. Don't dwell on what you don't have with this Appreciation in reverse. Don't dwell on the things that you don't have anymore. Okay, refocus your energy so you can be ready for this Cornucopia energy. Because this talks about a gift from the universe that will bring abundance. And this abundance can come in different forms, depending on how it fits your life. This is why I'm telling you now, keep your faith. Keep your faith at this moment. You know, really dig deep in yourself spiritually. Especially since we have enough time to do so. Because at the end of all this, there's going to be a gift from the universe. That gift may be your business being able to open back up. That gift may be able to refinance some loans. That gift may be able to, for you to afford to get a line of credit for your business so you can have some extra money to start back up again. It may be you being able to go back to work. That gift may be you celebrating a new job opportunity. That gift may be something of abundance. Just you finding your peace again. But there is going to be a big blessing for each of us after this is all said and done. Because you see, we have woman holding a coin as well as Happy Family. Woman holding the coin is an indication of prosperity and abundance coming. Health-wise, money-wise, spiritually. And people are going to be happy once this is all said and done. a lot of joy, celebration, and unity. So we need to keep our faith. We need to keep our faith. We need to stay strong, take responsibility, and protect each other so that we can, and take the lessons learned right now. We're learning a lot of lessons in this moment in time. The universe, God, whoever you pray to, whoever you believe as your higher power, as your higher source, is showing us something. Trying to teach us something right now. We need to take everything in so we can grow better from this. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. This is part 1 of the 2-part series that I have about the virus. Part 2 is going to be talking about the economic impact that the virus will have on us. So yes, be prepared for seeing that reading within the next few days. And yeah, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also follow me on my social media platforms. It's in the description box below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.